to Spotlight on Chabot. My name is Catherine Pincus and I'm an instructor in the business division, and I have a guest with me today, and I'm going to try to say your name properly. It's Anastasia Deveaux-Hurtado. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Today I have the great privilege of discussing one of the wonderful aspects of Chabot College, which is to help people who have a professional career continue to enhance their education. And Anastasia, you took some courses in our real estate program.
I did.
Okay, and what is your job now?
My job, I am an assistant property manager for Shorenstein Realty Services.
And that's one of the largest realty property managers in the Bay Area, isn't it?
I believe so.
And what are your duties?
My duties, I work with a large team of other property managers. We manage a portfolio of 1.5 million square feet of office and retail space. We manage a large parking garage, and we have, I believe 102 tenants there.
Oh my goodness, that's very large, isn't it? So your day is full of many activities and many details, right?
Yeah, no day is ever the same.
Okay. And you took a couple of courses in the program, I believe, with our instructor, Jay Mumford. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about these courses, and then maybe a little bit about how they apply to your job.
Okay, so I've been in the commercial real estate industry since 2001, and a few years back, my manager had suggested I take the real estate principles class, and I signed up, and Jay was my instructor. He was very motivating, he was very engaging. He really encouraged you to push yourself, to really think about things, because there was never ever one correct answer. There was many sides to look at things. And after I took that class, I came back and took another class with Jay, and that was legal aspects of real estate. And that class really applies to what I do in my day-to-day job. I often reflect back on lessons and discussions that we had, and that's really helpful for me.
So can you give us an example of something you learned that affects, in class, that really affects your decisions?
One lesson that sticks out in my mind on a daily basis is we manage a large retail plaza area. So we have a variety of people that come through, people from BART, people passing by. There's many restaurants there, so there's a lot of activity. We always have people that like to stop by and start collecting signatures for petitions. They want a flyer, they want to do a protest, and they like to come there because it's heavily traveled throughout the downtown area. We have a lot of activity, and it is private property, but because it's open to the public, we have to allow them to continue with what they're doing, so long as they are peaceful and they're, abiding by federal and regular laws, obviously. And there was a similar case that had taken place in the city of Campbell at the Prune Yard building, and the same thing was happening, and they had ruled that the public could go ahead and continue to petition for signatures and flyer and leaflet, because before that building was built, that was the town square where the people used to gather.
Well, for heaven's sake.
So, not sure if my property applies in the sense of being town square, but because that law had passed, it now affects all the other private properties that are open to the public.
So I think we're talking about City Center, right, in Oakland.
We're talking about City Center.
And City Center in downtown Oakland houses BART at the base of it. So I suspect that is really part of the reason why those laws apply. I know a great number of people do go through there. There are federal buildings there, I believe, as well.
Yes.
So you have traffic there, and it must be wonderful to know what rules are important and how you can do your work. Did it help build your confidence in terms of the work you do?
Yes. It makes me feel good that I know what I'm talking about.
Good, good. And I think that's a very important part of education that we often don't think about, is that when we've learned basic skills and we've learned especially the laws in business, that we have a much better understanding of the ground on which we work and the kind of decisions we need to make. And so have you thought about taking any other classes?
I definitely want to come back and take some classes. I'm very interested in communications. I would like to take property management. And for now, that's all I can put into my schedule.
So I think one of the paths that are open is that if you're in property management and you do that work, then eventually you can get a real estate license, and then you can even go ahead and be a broker. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what's the difference between those jobs?
The difference between those jobs? Well, a broker, there's so many more options when you're a broker as opposed to just having your sales license. I think when you're a broker, you can make your own schedule.
And you can own the properties, correct?
You can own properties, you can sign lease deals. For example, City Center has one dedicated in-house director of leasing, and he handles leasing across the board, and he's very busy.
Okay, okay. So it looks like you have a future there.
I have options.
You have options,
Yes.
and that's what's essential. In this world right now, with all these jobs changing and different kinds of career patterns that are available, it's really nice that we have a program here at Chabot in the real estate field that allows people to continue to grow in their careers, and as you said very correctly, to have options.
Yes.
So what would be your advice to students coming to Chabot if they were interested in the real estate program?
My advice, I would start with Jay, number one, and once you kind of get in your click with him, he can guide you and help you help you really decide that this might be something you're interested in, or if you're one of those students that are not sure what you want to do yet, real estate's the perfect industry to get into.
That's great. Well, I want you to know that the way I got Anastasia here was that I talked to Jay and told him that I wanted someone who was a really good role model for the kind of learning that goes on in his program. And so therefore today we got the chance to meet Anastasia. Thank you, Anastasia, for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is Catherine Pincus for Spotlight in Chabot.